Following the wild interview that aired on March 7th with Oprah Winfrey sitting down with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, social media was flooded with hot takes. Some went as far as trying to cancel the entire royal family on Twitter, while others were simply showing their support and empathy for Meghan, who openly admitted to struggling with being under the intense pressure of being a royal. Over the course of the interview, the two spoke about some incredibly shocking things, including concerns some of the royal family had as to how dark the skin color of their firstborn, Archie, would be. It seems aside from that, a handful of factors went into the couple's departure, and today on InformOverload, we're talking about the real reason Prince Harry and Meghan Markle left the royal family. Smash that like button and let's get into it. Now, obviously, aside from the fact that it's like very off-putting when someone from the family raised concerns about their unborn child's skin tone, there were a handful of other reasons as to why the two made their decision. After announcing their decision to step down back in January of 2020, the last year or so has seen a lot of what's happened unravel right before our eyes. Although the two have appeared on other shows to speak about what's going on, most notably Harry being on James Corden's Late Late Show, it seems this interview with Oprah was a tell-all that was necessary for the general public to understand what's really going on behind closed doors. Over the course of the interview, the two touched on a handful of issues they had, but it seems one of the biggest factors pushing Harry to ultimately leave the royal family would be his late mother Diana. Now, Harry has stated he's still family. The Queen has also stated the same. With that being said, there wasn't a halfway out the door option. It was either all or nothing, and the family chose nothing. Going back to Harry's mother, Diana, who was killed in a car crash while paparazzi chased her car, it seems Harry was fearful that history would repeat itself. For those of you unaware, Princess Diana was married to Prince Charles and gave birth to Harry and William. Diana and Charles would split, and the two would go their separate ways, with Diana still being a very prominent figure in the media and the world, even though she was technically no longer a part of the royal family. However, the year following their divorce, Diana, her partner at the time, Gaudi Faid, and the car's driver, Henry Paul, all died in a car accident while the driver was trying to flee from paparazzi chasing them. And it seems when asked what his mother would think of his current situation, Harry reflected and admitted she's one of the main reasons he decided to step away from the family in the first place. He explained, I quote, "Touching back on when you asked me what my mom would think of this, I think she saw it coming, and I felt her presence throughout this whole process. For me, I'm just really relieved and happy to be sitting here with you, with my wife by my side, because I can't begin to imagine what it must have been like for her to go through this process by herself all those years ago. My biggest concern was history repeating itself." Although Harry saw a lot of similarities between his mother's situation and Meghan's, he felt that his wife's situation was escalated due to racial tensions and social media. In a previous interview with James Corden, Harry would admit that the media did push him away, explaining, I quote, "We all know what the British press can be like, and it was destroying my mental health. I was like, this is toxic, so I did what any husband and what any father would do." However, it wasn't just his own mental health that was being negatively affected. If you've seen the interview with Oprah, then you know the struggles Meghan was dealing with as well. As I previously touched on, at one point, Harry was worried that his wife would end up with the same fate of his late mother, passing at a young age due to the pressures of the media. Now, whether it be from physically trying to escape them or the mental toll it takes on a person, that was simply not a chance Harry was willing to take. And although Harry admitted to the media being toxic and affecting him, it seems Meghan really got the worst of it, leading to some pretty scary thoughts. At one time, Meghan was at such a low point, she was even thinking about taking her own life. Speaking with Oprah, she explained, I quote, "I didn't know who to even turn to in that. And one of the people that I reached out to, who has continued to be a friend and a confidant, was one of my husband's mom's best friends. One of Diana's best friends." Because it's like, who else could understand what it's actually like on the inside? I think it's quite clear based on the interviews and information that has been coming out on a regular basis that being part of the royal family is more than just family. As they put it themselves, there's the family side of things, then the enterprise, or firm as other sources have referred to it. Just like anything, it seems the royal family, whether it be their many endeavors or the brand itself, has very strict rules and codes of conduct, just like any other business. And it seems over the years, Harry and Meghan made the decision that this business is not one they want to be a part of, nor one they want their new family to be a part of. Although there was likely a handful of issues and reasons that led to their decision, it seems one of the main factors for them leaving is Harry fearing for his family's life and safety. And although I don't have any children or a wife of my own, I could wholeheartedly say there's nothing I respect more than that decision. Now, as always, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on this one. How do you feel about the whole thing? I'm not one to keep up with it all that much, but from what I do know, yikes. For now, let's do some comment replies from the video. YouTuber finds human skull. Demi Lovato is angry and the world's first space hotel is here. Funky Goose World said this generation will go down in memory as a hateful and rage-fueled bunch. I'm just embarrassed. I don't think so. I think if anything, we're gonna be like the information generation when we like technology and we learn a bunch of stuff. And yeah, there's the whole cancel culture, but like in the span of our generation, which I don't know how long a generation is, like 100 years? I don't know. What's a generation? Anybody know? Yeah, it's definitely not 100. 100 years is a century, isn't it? Well, I know millennials are like, I think, 80 to 94 or something, right? 95, because I'm 94 and I'm on the cusp, because it ends at 95 or 96. It's irrelevant, guys. Point I'm making is that we're not gonna be known as the hateful one. Maybe the younger ones, like what are the other ones? Gen Zs or something? Yeah, you guys that's your problem. We're millennials, we say groovy and stuff. The commentator said, day 62 of trying to get famous by writing comments. Well, I don't know if you're gonna be famous, but I'm helping the cause, my friend. Melmis said, people being easily offended must have very low self-esteem with the constant need of validation. They honestly need serious therapy, no joke. I don't know. I think people have too much time on their hands, to be honest. I think this whole pandemic quarantine, staying inside all day, it's led people to overreact a lot, and then unfortunately that leads to the snowball effect of like, well, if they're outraged, I should be outraged. And then everyone's outraged, and then someone loses their job for something that doesn't even matter. And it's like, yeah, so that's, All right, that's all for this one, folks. Be your host, Jared Bronstein, and that's all. So, love you.